Josh, you when we spoke last time, you said you were going to be busy, and so we thought we were going to do this part with like another crew, and then we got busy. So here we are, like something like 4 months later, as it stands. So what's new with you? You've been a busy guy, but
I guess this is when I bring out the coffee table book. Yeah. So
is that
anyway,
your dissertation?
That is the dissertation. So anyway, that was passed somehow, and
How many pages is it?
Without citations and such, I think it's something like 295, something like that.
What's the
It is double spaced, to be clear.
Okay.
But anyway.
that's still above average, right? For amount
of yeah, it's a little above average, but not too much. I'm just verbose. That's all.
What's it about, by the way? Maybe we'll do a dissertation podcast another time. What's it about?
If anyone wants to really fall asleep,
we can spice it up.
Basically, I talk about a few. So, for those who don't know, I'm a particle physicist. I'm an experimentalist or phenomenologist.
Okay.
I do a little bit of both, and right now I'm a postdoc at MIT and Tel Aviv University.
Wow.
Working here at Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory in Batavia, Illinois, outside of Chicago. But basically what I did for my dissertation was I looked ahead and I tried to figure out a couple of experiments that are kind of being thought about being built or being actively built now, constructed now, and how those experiments could be used to look for what we call rare processes. Those rare processes generally have something to do with how we get something from nothing. So where we want to understand kind of the what's called the matter-antimatter asymmetry of the universe, which is a kind of a big problem with how we think we understand the dynamics at play right after the Big Bang.
Right.
And if we want to get a universe for free, which is the general thought, and there's a lot of evidence that seems to point to that fact as far as zero net energy curvature over the entire universe from astronomical observations, things like this. If we want to get a universe for free, we have to make an equal amount of something and anti-something, matter and antimatter. But we don't see any or very little antimatter in the universe. We only see matter. And so this symmetry violation basically has to be explained.
Does it also deal with the asymmetry of energy?
I don't know.
Well, I guess maybe that's the wrong terminology, but I'm thinking of how that like relativity physics, like from Einstein, as well as quantum physics, don't work together because they have a different number in their bulk, which is the and again, this isn't my area, so we may not be able to get into it right now, but they have a different amount of background energy to the universe, these different theories like quantum physics and relativity physics. Does yours deal with that, or is it only dealing with things like matter and antimatter?
No, I studied a particular process called neutron-antineutron transformation, which was a mechanism by which you could spontaneously, potentially in the early universe or very rarely today, change a neutral particle like a neutron made of 3 quarks into an anti-neutron made of 3 antiquarks. And this would violate matter-antimatter asymmetry, or sorry, it would violate matter-antimatter symmetry, creating an asymmetry. And that asymmetry could grow in a way that in the early universe would lead to a preponderance of matter over antimatter. And so there's ways that we can experimentally look for this, both at things called neutron beams, where we actually create and collimate beams of neutrons, usually using what's called spallation or using nuclear reactors.
Mm-hmm.
And another is to just look at nuclei and a bunch of nuclei for a very long period of time. And so anyway, I did my topic was on that, and I looked at 2 experiments, one in Sweden and one here in the United States called Dune, which is an experiment I'm kind of still affiliated with, and I'm still affiliated with the other one in Sweden as well called Bar. But yeah, anyway,
is it named after the book series?
Bar?
No, Dune. It reminds me of the sci-fi series.
Well, I mean, it's not named after that, but I'm pretty sure
there's a
they
correlation
knew
somewhere.
what name recognition could mean.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Speaking of which, I'm very much looking forward to Timothée Chalamet's version.
Dune.
Denis Villeneuve, his version.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Maybe when you get a chance again, we'll get more into that. Especially, we talked a little bit offline about the club that I've just randomly got involved in is called Quantum Photonics on Clubhouse, and they we won't really get into it now, but basically they deal with things along those lines, but basically just
I almost did my PhD on quantum information in photonic systems. So
wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get you in the Clubhouse club one of these days, and I'm sure they'll have a bunch of discussion topics. Guns